You break your arm and for a moment the world stops. The pain is sharp, immediate, undeniable. But give it time. 6 weeks, maybe 8. And the cast comes off, the bone knits back together, and the pain becomes something you barely remember. A scar, maybe. A story you tell at parties. Nothing more. Now think about the last time someone rejected you. Maybe it was someone you loved who stopped loving you back. Maybe it was a friend who slowly stopped replying until the silence became the whole relationship. Maybe it was smaller than that. A group photo you weren't invited into, a joke you weren't let in on, a message left on read for 3 days that somehow felt louder than any conversation. Here's the strange part. That kind of pain doesn't heal in 6 weeks. Sometimes it doesn't fully heal in 6 years. You can be standing in a grocery store, completely unrelated moment, and a memory of being excluded 15 years ago will surface and still make your chest tighten. Why would a wound with no blood, no bruise, no visible damage at all outlast a wound that actually broke your body? For most of history, we assumed physical pain and emotional pain lived in entirely separate categories. One was biological, real, measurable, medical. The other was just a feeling, something soft, something people told you to get over, to toughen up about, to simply move past with enough willpower. But your brain does not seem to agree with that distinction. When researchers began scanning people's brains during moments of social rejection, being excluded from a game, being left out of a group, even just looking at a photo of an ex-partner, they found something nobody expected. The same regions that light up when your body experiences actual physical pain, the same circuitry responsible for processing a burn or a broken bone, activated during social exclusion too. Your brain isn't speaking in metaphor when it says rejection hurts. It is quite literally running the same alarm system it uses for physical injury. Anterior cingulate cortex, anterior insular. The exact same neural real estate that fires when you slam your finger in a car door fires when someone you care about walks away. That should not make sense. Evolution is usually efficient. It doesn't waste resources building 2 separate systems when it could reuse one. So the question isn't really, why does rejection hurt? The real question is, why did evolution decide that a broken heart deserved the same emergency response as a broken bone? To answer that, you have to go back. Not centuries, hundreds of thousands of years, to a version of human life almost nothing like the one you're living now. For nearly all of human history, survival was never an individual project. You didn't hunt alone, you didn't defend yourself alone, you didn't raise children alone, gather food alone, or heal from illness alone. Every one of those tasks required other people. Your group wasn't a social convenience, it was your life support system. It kept predators away at night. It shared food when your own hunt failed. It carried you when you were sick and defended you when you were weak. Being cast out of that group wasn't an emotional inconvenience. It wasn't a bruised ego. It was, quite literally, a death sentence. A human being alone on the savannah, alone in the forest, alone anywhere without the protection of a group did not survive long. No fire watch through the night. No one to help fight off a predator. No one to share the last of the food during a lean season. Exile meant exposure, and exposure meant death. So the brain could not afford to treat social rejection as a minor event. It had to feel dangerous. It had to feel urgent. It had to feel exactly like an emergency, because for most of human history, it was one. This is why a single unanswered message can spiral into an entire afternoon of anxious thinking. This is why one person walking away can feel heavier some days than any physical wound you've ever had. Your brain isn't malfunctioning when it reacts this way. It's running a program that for hundreds of thousands of years kept your ancestors alive. And here's the detail almost nobody realizes. Physical pain fades quickly because once the wound heals, the danger is usually over. A healed arm is a safe arm, but social pain lingers, sometimes for years, because for most of human history, losing your place in the group didn't mean the danger was over. It meant the danger was just beginning. You were still exposed, still unprotected, still vulnerable to everything the world could throw at you, with no one left to help you face it. So the brain kept the alarm running, not to torture you, not because it enjoys watching you replay old memories at 2 in the morning. It kept the alarm running because, evolutionarily speaking, the job wasn't finished. Rejection wasn't just an emotional event. It was a signal that your survival odds had just gotten worse, and the brain, doing exactly what it was built to do, refused to let that signal fade quietly. This explains something else too, something almost everyone has felt, but rarely questioned. Why does one piece of criticism outweigh 100 compliments? Why can you receive overwhelming support from people who love you and still fixate on the one person who didn't show up, didn't call, didn't care? It's the same mechanism. Your ancestors who paid close attention to signs of social rejection, who took disapproval seriously, who noticed when the group's warmth toward them cooled even slightly, were the ones who could act before it became fatal. They repaired the relationship. They changed their behavior. They stayed inside the circle of protection. The ones who shrugged off social disapproval, who didn't feel the sting strongly enough to respond to it, sometimes found themselves alone when it mattered most. In other words, feeling rejection intensely wasn't a flaw in the system. It was the system working exactly as designed. The people who felt it the most sharply were often the people who survived. Understanding this doesn't make the pain disappear the next time someone leaves, ignores you, or lets you down, but it does change what that pain means. You are not weak for feeling devastated by rejection. You are not too sensitive, and you are not broken for still thinking about something that happened years ago. You are carrying a survival system that took hundreds of thousands of years to build, a system engineered for a world where losing your group's approval could genuinely cost you your life. That system hasn't caught up yet. It doesn't know that you can survive perfectly well today without any one person's approval, without any single group's acceptance, without being liked by everyone in every room you walk into. It's still running ancient code in a modern world, treating a cold text message the way it once treated a genuine threat to your survival. Your brain is not trying to make you miserable. It is using an ancient survival system in a world it was never designed for. And once you see it that way, the ache of rejection stops feeling like proof that something is wrong with you, and starts feeling like proof of exactly how hard your ancestors fought to keep you alive.
Subscribe to my channel.